Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Lisa Carlson. I'm the Chief Executive of Canterbury's Business Improvement District, and we are hosting this webinar today, which is being brought to you by Produced in Kent and Digital Beans, who I'll introduce in just a moment. But first, just want to say that we have been and will continue to run a series of webinars to support businesses through this crisis. We've done several already, and coming up we've got legal, video content, digital marketing, social media, and we'll continue to respond to your needs and to host these webinars. So keep an eye on canterburybid.co.uk. But before I hand over to Fleur and Ben, I'm going to hand over to Rachel just briefly, who's going to talk us through how this webinar works. And then we will hear from Fleur Hutje, who's the Chief Executive of Produced in Kent, who are behind the Help Kent Buy Local initiative. And then from Ben Pierce from Digital Beans, who are behind the Your Local Delivery platform, which is being provided free to businesses across Kent. So it's really nice, as I'm sure we're all doing crisis management, to have these positive stories about how we can help each other through this. So thank you for joining us today, and for those who are listening later on by recording. And I'll just hand over now to Rachel.
Okay, so hopefully all of you are feeling confident in Zoom. What you will find at the bottom of your screen is three options. One is that you can raise your hand, and it would be lovely if you could all raise your hands just so that I know you can hear us clearly. Thank you. I'm getting a few. Hopefully the rest of you can hear us too. Okay, you can lower your hands again. Thank you. You'll notice that you're currently on mute and you don't have video function. We will be doing Q&As, and we may well end up taking you off mute to ask those questions. But in the meantime, there is a Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Please do type in your questions here. And as we go through the webinar, our panelists will be able to answer those questions. I can read those out to them as we go, or they may pick up on them anyway. So enjoy the webinar. Thank you.
Is this where we jump in? We jump in at this point.
This is where we jump in. Yeah.
This is where we steal the show. I think Flo, you're going to go first, right, and talk a little bit about what Produced in Kent are doing for Help Kent Buy Local.
Yes, thank you, Ben. So I'm Floortje Hutte. I'm the Chief Executive of Produced in Kent. We are a membership organisation for the food and drink industry in Kent, representing almost 300 members. Promoting, representing and supporting local food and drink businesses, and very much promoting buying local and sustainable products. So when COVID really started to bite a couple of weeks ago, and social distancing rules came into place or into force, we, like many other organizations, were faced with, well, what do we do now? Because we have to kind of change the way we operate. Can't go to the office. All our events were cancelled, or our professional gatherings were cancelled. So how do we support our members best in these times? And obviously also the food and drink industry was immediately very much under pressure. We thought, okay, how do we promote buying local in these times? We have to focus anyway to online promotion of our members from here on. So let's try to come up with a campaign to promote our members in this difficult period, but not just our members, also the wider food and drink businesses in Kent, because I think in an unprecedented situation like this, it's all about helping each other out and being there for each other. So we extended our promotion very much to the entire food and drink industry. And we came up with the hashtag Help Kent Buy Local, which we pushed out through our social media channels. We encouraged our members, but also other food and drinks businesses who were posting online what they were still doing, to use that hashtag. And that pretty quickly started to trend. So that was a very good sign that people were catching on to this whole campaign. So the campaign is about buying local, supporting local business, also from the social distancing point of view. People are encouraged to stay home, stay safe. So buying local also feeds very much into that. Look around where you live and help the local business in your village or close to your village or close to your town get through this period. And in the longer term, hopefully, Help Kent Buy Local will help change the mentality of the residents in Kent and people coming into Kent to visit. And hopefully more people will buy local anyway, whether COVID is dominating our lives or not. Now, as I said, online promotion through the hashtag really helped, but we thought we have to go further. So we decided to come up with a website, www.helpkentbuylocal.co.uk, where we basically present a visual map with all the food and drink businesses in Kent who are still operational, offering their services, be it through their shop being still open or doing home deliveries, doing takeaways, taking online orders. So I'll go a bit more in detail later and show you the map and walk you through it. But this map has now been up since 10 days and it's filling up pretty quickly at the moment. It's a free listing, so businesses are allowed to list their business and their services on the map, and hopefully customers will therefore be more able or can more easily find them. So that's a little bit the practical outcome of our campaign. And I think at this point it's probably good to hand over to Ben, because when we made our website go live, Ben and I were introduced to each other, and Ben explained their initiative, and we thought this is a really good opportunity for us to work together and enforce each other's messages. And also what Ben is offering is very much helping the businesses that we are promoting and listing on our website. So maybe this is a moment to hand over to you, Ben.
Yeah, cheers, Flo. I think what you guys are doing are amazing, and I think it all works perfectly together. And right now, businesses need to come together and collaborate to help the wider community, and it's been brilliant collaborating with you guys at Produced in Kent on this. So just a bit of background about us. So I'm the relationship manager at Digital Beans. We're a digital marketing and WordPress development agency based just outside of Canterbury in Hersden. I think if you have come through the bid to this webinar today, we might have met at many networking events. I'm pretty much the networkaholic, if that's a word in itself, for our company. So you usually see me out and about representing the brand. And really, we all came together, our MDs, Pip and Amy, who really pioneered this alongside our team, who worked really, really hard on bringing something together to help businesses. And for us, we wanted to do something that stuck to our core brand and what we believe in, but also we wanted to help spread our expertise. It would have been really easy for us to just turn around and go, hey, we can give you some free advice. But we wanted to do more than that. We couldn't just stop and look. We wanted to be practical, and we wanted to deliver something for businesses to really help them, not just now, but also potentially in the long term, because what this initiative can offer them is an opportunity to learn about how an online platform in the future and in the current day can really help boost their business. So obviously when the government advice came out, and we were liaising with BID, with Lisa, with Rachel about what that government advice was going to be when it comes to businesses and how they can continue to operate, we then found out that businesses are still able to deliver product, and they are still able to run some kind of delivery service. And with that being said, we thought the best way for us to help businesses is by creating free online stores. And it is literally as simple as that. Now, I know it can be difficult sometimes when people see free online, whatever it might be, whether that's a free website, whether that's free online stores. Usually you have to go through a really technical process and build half of your website before you actually get your free product. And it's really hard work. So we wanted to completely get rid of that element. We wanted, as a team, to contribute to this for businesses by building those stores manually. So what we have is a simple sign up form on our website, yourlocal.delivery. Just if there was like an image where I could point to like the domain like somewhere around me, that would be really, really cool. But yeah, yourlocal.delivery is where you need to go, and you click sign up. There's 3-4 steps, and then we'll get an email and we'll set the store up for the businesses. I think what's quite important here is that it is completely free of charge. It gives businesses the chance to have an online platform to list products and to process orders online. It gives businesses the opportunity to take online payments, which we're all used to doing. We're all used to buying products online. It's normal for us. Something we're not used to doing is ringing up a phone number and giving someone our card details and doing a payment over the phone nowadays. It's just not a natural thing to do anymore. So really, in the way that the world's, I don't know what the term is, I'm going to say it really wrong, but sort of Amazon-fying, where Amazon is sort of taking a lead when it comes to being a marketplace. We're trying to do that for businesses now as a quick fix for them. Don't get me wrong, in the long term, this may help the understanding of it, but hopefully in the future, what this is going to do is drive businesses to really embrace digital, because we feel that those businesses right now who are really having a positive impact in terms of their work life at the moment, being able to sell products and distribute products, they're the ones which are really taking hold of social media. They're taking hold of resident groups. They're really being able to still run some kind of function day to day. So what we're trying to do with these online websites is make that easier for them. And as you said, Flo, as part of our team up, what's really nice is there's loads of businesses out there that would love to be featured on a site like yours, but don't have a website to list. So what they can do through us is sign up for a yourlocal.delivery store, and then they can go to Help Kent Buy Local. They can go to different outlets and they can list their store. They can go on social media. They can push their link, and they can drive not just current custom, but new customers as well, which is really, really important to be able to have that opportunity to make new business right now. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's what yourlocal.delivery does. It allows businesses to be able to have a completely free of charge online store, the ability to take online payments, and then how those businesses run their delivery service is completely up to them. It's how they want to do it, whether they want to block out 5 till 7 o'clock every evening to go and do their deliveries, whatever radius that's in, to where their store is. Again, completely up to them. The business is completely in control of how they sell their product and the way they go about delivering it as well. So yeah, that's yourlocal.delivery. Would you like to show people around the Help Kent Buy Local website now, Flo, or do you want me to jump into the yourlocal.delivery website? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, unmuted.
Oh, there you are.
Now, let's have a quick look. I don't know if everybody sees the website.
Yes, yes, we've got it.
All right. So when you go to the website, helpkentbuylocal.co.uk, you end up on this page, which, as you see, shows quite a few businesses already. And our team's working hard at the moment to add another 40. So it's really filling up very quickly now. So you go onto the sites. These circles indicate that you have to go a little bit closer to see actually all the different shops that are there, or the different outlets that are there. And then it's just a matter of clicking on the pinpricks to see who's behind it. So that's if you just decide to click on the map itself. Now you have also these search boxes where you can search in different ways. So you can search around your location where you live, and then it zooms into the location where you live, and then you see all the shops that are around where you live. You can look on services. So all the services are listed here, and you click one, and then only the pinpricks come out that represent that service. Or you can choose to look on categories if you're after something in particular. So that's all very easy and self-explanatory. Now, if you are a business and you want to get listed, you push this button, which brings you to a very easy form that you have to fill out, where again, you can fill out the services that you're offering, your website, then the categories that you represent, your contact details, don't forget that. We will ask you if you're producing Kent member or not, but you can be a member. You don't have to be a member to be on the site. And then we'll ask you to give us a quick description of your service to the customer. Now, as you have seen on the website, there is not just this page, but we have also just introduced two additional pages. Now, this is showing trade stock. Now, I have to say this page has only come on live yesterday, and you see it's already filling up. So this is the B2B side of our website. So this is for growers, producers, manufacturers, and distributors who have stock on offer to the retail and the hospitality that is still operating. So the pubs and restaurants that are still doing home deliveries or takeaways can go here to see where there is stock available that they could possibly buy off that business. And then finally, we have a third page now added, which is still empty, but we're working on populating that as well, where we would like to see the farms indicating what staff needs they have. So we've got picking season coming up very soon. There is noises throughout the growing community that they're going to be facing huge problems, and we're trying to offer some help here by visualizing the need throughout Kent, which can then be visited by anyone going to our website who is looking for a temporary seasonal job, and they can contact the farm or the agency that works for that farm directly. So these two new pages are very much being built as we speak. Now, going back to the Get Listed page, as a business, if you list your business, if you're offering a service to a customer, like a home delivery, an online order, gifts and vouchers, you can see your shop's still open, or you do community work, then you will fill out the box service to customer. Now, if you've got stock available, then you click that box and then you fill out what you have available for the retail or hospitality sector. And similarly, if you need staff, then you fill out this box and give more detail on what you need exactly. We have a box here. If you would like to receive updates from our organization, then you tick that box. If you don't like to, then don't tick it and we won't send you anything. And then we have, of course, our terms and conditions. Most important in those terms and conditions is that we, of course, expect that all businesses who list their services comply with the government regulations around the social distancing, and also their guidance specifically to the food and drinks industry in that respect. So that's actually, in short, what our website is about. Now, we have a good news button here, which will show you more in-depth stories about all the fantastic work that's being done by the food and drinks businesses around Kent. And if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with a summary of those good news stories, then you can sign up here and we'll send you that newsletter. So I think that's kind of, in short, how our site works. So I'll stop sharing now. So I'll hand over to you, Ben, again, and you can do your bit.
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that you've got a good news section on the website, because all we need right now is positivity and a lot of it. So I think that's a really nice touch.
Yeah, and there's so much fantastic stuff happening, and we really felt the need to highlight that, because apart from keeping their businesses going, the initiatives that are taken up by many farm shops and growers and manufacturers, the community help that they're giving is amazing. It's awe-inspiring.
Yeah, no, definitely. And can I also just quickly highlight that obviously if potentially you're watching this and maybe these features that we're talking about might not be the perfect fit for your business or your brand right now, make sure you please still take note, and make sure that if you do know someone who could benefit from any of the initiatives that myself and Flo are talking about, maybe they already have an online store, that's absolutely fine. But if they produce local produce, that nearly sounded like a tongue twister then. If they sell local produce, then please tell them about Help Kent Buy Local. Maybe they don't trade in local produce. Maybe they trade in something completely different, but they don't have an online platform to be able to sell their products. Please tell them about your local delivery. Again, we're all working hand in hand to make sure that we can support every single business out there in some shape or form. So please pass on the message of what you've learned today or what you found out today to anyone you know, whether that's in a social post now, whether that's in a message privately to someone who you know who owns a business on a high street. Please just help us spread the word, because we need people to find out more about these initiatives and to be able to make the most of them as well. So yeah, just please make sure that you do pass on the message. So what I'll do is I'll quickly show a little bit. I think I can do it through here, about the yourlocal.delivery website, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Up here, as soon as you hit the web page, you've got the sign up for free button, and we've got a number of different options on our menu, because we want to explain as clearly as we can from the outset of what you're signing up to here and what the initiative is. So we've got the how it works page, where you can find a little bit more about what I've been saying today. We've got the FAQs page. It's just questions we keep getting asked. Is it really free? Yes, it is. Do you offer delivery drivers? No, we don't. So it's just the questions that we get asked, but put in a obviously in a layman's format, so it's really understandable, and so that we're not pushing mixed messaging. Also a bit about us as well. A little bit about Digital Beans on here too. Of course, more about they say sponsors on here, but really they're partners. We need to change up the wording, because it's slightly different, but Help Kent Buy Local, of course, we're working really closely with, and Spark Film Production have also given us some social assets, which we're sending to everyone who signs up for a store. So they'll be able to use that when you're putting out a social media post. If a business is doing that to push the store, we'll give you the social assets to go with that too. And then we've just launched this page as well. We've only got 3 videos on here at the moment, but we're just editing up another couple. And they're just little tutorial videos to show you how easy it is to sign up to your local.delivery, how easy it is to edit your products. Plus, this gives you the opportunity, lovely put together by Josh, gives you the opportunity to expand your store as much as you want to. And we've tried to make those steps really simple for you. We've done everything we can to make sure that back end is really, really simple to use. So there's a video there on how you can edit your products, including adding pictures as well to your products. And finally, of course, the really important part, how to manage your orders as well. Ben Linden put that together for everyone. So please make the most of that resources pages, and then you can check out just a few of the people who we've been working with, like Canterbury Bid, to help push the message about your local .delivery too. So I just want to quickly hit up the sign up for free page, just to quickly show you how really easy it is to sign up. It's 8 steps. But obviously the first steps are really simple. It's just your basic details. That obviously will allow us to address you properly and to be able to contact you more formally. Then it's just your business information. And at any point you can save and continue later. So if you're in the middle of something and you want to continue this later on, you can hit save and continue later, and it will send to your email address. You'll get a unique link. You go to that link and you can just carry on from where you left off. The next few steps, which I won't continue filling in, because it would just mean that I'm dragging this on a little bit. Just a little bit about your brand. So we just want your brand logo, and we want your brand colors, so that this part of your store is colored in whatever your most favorable hex code is, which obviously resembles your brand appearance. On top of that, as Flo hit on early on, the T's and C's. Obviously, we need to know exactly what you're offering from a delivery or collection point of view. We need to know exactly how you want to process payment. So we wouldn't recommend taking cash on collection, because there's a huge thing right now about obviously bacteria that can stay on cash. Although no government sort of word has been put out there saying don't take cash, it's obviously an option, but it's down to you to list that. And then obviously online transactions, we need to make sure we take some details from you so we can enable those online transactions at a later date and set you up manually to do that. Also, as Flo said, we need to know exactly how you're going to deliver these products or food. So we need to make sure that also you're listing on there that you're going to completely abide by the government rules when it comes to social distancing, and when it comes to hygiene around food, and hygiene around handling products as well. So that's just the sign up process. Really, really simple. It says 8 steps, but after probably the first 3 steps, it's like 1 question per step. So it's a really, really straightforward, and it's really, really easy to sign up. The next thing that I just want to quickly jump onto is what a live store actually looks like. So the Dove at Dargate have signed up, and obviously a few other businesses have as well, and you can check those out on the homepage. But this is how their store's set out. It's the most basic of set out that's available to you. So we asked them for an Excel file of their products. We uploaded the Excel file, and this is how it looks. Obviously, it looks like quite a big list, but what you can do within this is you can easily just scroll through it, have a look, hit your add to basket, again, hit your add to basket. As I said earlier on, through the back end, you're able to add pictures if you want to add pictures too. So if you're jewelers, for example, you'll be able to add pictures of your product so that people can actually visibly see. The only thing that will take a little bit more work, which we will be willing to do, is sizes and bits and pieces like that if you're in retail. So this is how it looks in the basket, and obviously then the end user gets to decide how they deliver or what they do. They won't be able to process to checkout at this stage if you're only trying to spend £2.60, because sometimes there's a minimum payment. If there's not a minimum payment, then there might be a delivery fee, which here the Dove at Dargate are saying a £5 delivery fee. That gets added at the end too. So really straightforward, really easy to use. Again, brand colours all up here, brand logo. And really, really straightforward. And again, as soon as you get this, immediately, you just take your link, you copy it, you paste it into a social post, and you let the world know that you're taking orders online. And straight away, the efficiency of doing that is massive. No one will have to hold on a phone line. No one will have to wait around until they don't get that annoying beep, beep, beep. And you're using the internet and the digital platforms how they're meant to be used, and that's to be able to make a big impact on your business. So that's, to be honest, all I really need to go through from the your local .delivery side of things. I think we've got some, if you've got any questions, by the way, for myself or for Flo, please, are we going to do, Rachel, the hands up system, or are we just going to ask for questions in the Q&A?
Well, I've noticed that someone's already put their hands up. So Monique has raised her hand. I think probably if you have a question, I will unmute you and you can ask that question. So Monique, I am going to unmute you now if you're happy with that, Ben.
Yeah, no, more than happy.
Okay, all right. Monique.
Oh, hiya.
There we go.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm just in the middle of trying to sort out my website. I was reading that about the payments. I actually use a system called Square because I'm really small. And if you can link that up, is that something you can do?
I'm not sure. I'm not massively familiar with Square, to be honest. When we're through our online stores, what we're mainly using is Stripe, and we're also using PayPal payments. So I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Potentially, I have to double check with the team and see if that is doable. But right now, really, what we're using for the majority of businesses is Stripe and PayPal. Have you already got an online store set up on your website then, Monique?
I have, but it's for a different aspect of my business. So I'm just trying to rejig it so that I can do my bread. I want to do it as a pre-ordered thing on certain days. So I'm just trying to work out how I do it.
Oh, there we go.
Today.
The question's just been answered by our MD, Pip. He's just said that they can integrate Square. So there we go. Yeah, we can integrate Square on the. I was
going to say, because it's a system I've already got. I don't really want to go through a new one. Okay, that's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Sorry that I couldn't answer it straight away.
That's cool. Good, thanks.
Okay, I'm going to mute you, Monique. Thank you for your question. Right, there's just a message actually in the Q&A to say that from Alison Clark, saying that in Whitstable they have a traders chat group, and she's just sent the details around to everyone, and several people are interested. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Alison. Appreciate that. Thank you.
That's really great. Go for it.
Sorry, I was going to say, should we jump onto some of our Q&A questions that we prepared as well, just so then people can continue to get a clearer picture of both the platforms?
Yeah.
So
just before you do that, sorry, Ben, Rachel and I will just monitor the Q&A and anyone who's raising hands. So you two go ahead, and then if anyone else wants to raise their hand and ask a question, Rachel and I will keep an eye on that, and we'll feed those through after.
And can I just say, Monique, if you can take your hand down, unless you have another question, in which case leave it back up.
Brilliant.
Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. So I suppose first of all, Flo, we should start really with the bread and butter of this. So just for anyone out there who doesn't really know much about Produced in Kent, what is it that Produced in Kent do day to day, and how and why is it that you decided to push forward with the Help Kent Buy Local campaign?
Okay, so that it's a little bit what I explained at the start. So we are a membership organization. We are a not-for-profit organization that represents almost 300 businesses in the food and drink industry in Kent. So we promote, represent, and support any businesses in that industry, be they growers, producers, distributors, people in the retail or people in the hospitality sector, basically anyone who's got anything to do with food and drink. As long as your company is based in Kent, then you're very welcome to join us as a member. So on a daily basis, that would mean, and in a normal situation, that would mean a lot of online promotion, a lot of presence at events with our designated Produced in Kent area or stalls. For example, at the Kent County Show, we always have a very prominent presence, and that's an opportunity for our members to present themselves to the visitors to that show. We have presence at the Canterbury Food and Drink Festival, for example, and many other kind of notable events in the county. We have a Taste of Kent Awards every year, where we celebrate all the best of food and drink that comes out of Kent. So we've got a lot of kind of promotion of our members through events, not just online. And then, of course, we support our members. We support their businesses through training session, workshops, advice, special support packages that we agree with our corporate partners. So that's other ways in which we support our members. Now, in this time, obviously, that all has changed because events can no longer take place. We cannot get people together in a room to do a workshop or support them in another way. So we've got to do everything online, like so many other organizations. So I suppose that's where the campaign was born. I mean, what can we do online that gets some traction and helps the businesses, our members, but also other businesses, non-members in the food and drink industry through this difficult period?
I was going to say, Flo, it's important to say, isn't it, as well, a bit like us, developing e-commerce stores and websites is what we do day to day. Normally when we do it, it's obviously paid work as it is for you guys when you have members. But the Help Kent Buy Local campaign isn't just a reaction to COVID-19, is it? Help Kent Buy Local is something that has been around for a little while with you guys.
It is, yeah. We've always, it's at the core of what we do. We promote buying local and sustainable produce. I mean, our members typically are the independent food and drink businesses in Kent. So it's very much at the heart of what we do. And I think this situation or COVID, I find it difficult to use the word opportunity because it's obviously a very distressing and difficult and challenging time for a lot of us. But it did give, I suppose, an opportunity to push out that message much stronger because of social distancing regulations in place and restrictions in place. People are actually forced now to look closer to home for food and drink. So I think people are kind of rediscovering what fantastic shops are just very close to where they live, and hopefully after COVID sticking to them as well.
It helped push the message in and sort of
Absolutely.
speed up the process.
And I really, really hope that it will stay, that in the long term, now that people have made that switch, that they actually discover that no, the local shops are not always more expensive, and actually the quality is really, really good. And they are offering a fantastic customer service, probably much better than some of the bigger shops we're dealing with normally. So I think there's a lot of advantages in general about shopping local. And also, you know, there's a whole sustainability angle to it. It's just much better for the planet if we shop local, and we shop and we buy food and drink that's been produced not too far from our home.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I mean, it is an interesting time, and things are changing, are always changing. And as you say, a really important part of the world right now is making sure that we are able to access food and drink, not just, you know, not just by walking to a shop, because 9 times out of 10 we can't do that now, but that we're able to access food and drink. So why not do it locally? Why not? If there is a local service who are delivering locally, why not find them, and why not use this opportunity to try them? Because also the business is going to help them in the long run as well.
And I think, you know, we've put up the website very clearly to respond to the situation we're dealing with now. But I can see this website staying around, and this visual map staying around for much longer, because it does, you know, people need a visual, and it just shows you what's around. It makes people realize the wealth and breadth of fantastic food and drink shops that we have around us.
Yeah, we get that as well. The question we keep getting asked is will your local dot delivery be available long term? And for us, exactly like what you've just said, we launched this as a very, very quick response, direct response to the crisis that's going on, because we wanted to do something to help. So we didn't do this with an idea that in 6 months' time we'll be challenging Deliveroo. That's not the point of it. The project was sort of given a green light, so to speak, to run in line with the way the government are pushing information. So that's over a 3-month period. So initially the project's been given a green light until June 2020. Although that doesn't mean that this is going to end in June 2020. It means that we're going to re-evaluate the situation, look at what's happening, look at the popularity of the service, how businesses are utilising it. Then what we're going to do is one or two things. We're going to look at improving it, making it more accessible for businesses, and making sure that we're actually helping businesses even more with it, or we're going to potentially extend it. So we've got to look at that, and everyone's got to keep that in mind, because we don't know where we're going to be in 3, 4, 5, 6 months time when it comes to what we're doing as businesses. Are we all going to be back in offices? Are we going to be at networking events? You know, who knows? So we're also stipulating, I don't know about what you're saying, Flo, but as and when anything changes, we're obviously keeping people up to date with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exactly the route we're taking, and that's also mentioned in our terms and conditions. But what I wanted to stress, and what I like so much about your initiative, Ben, is that as much as we're trying to change the mentality of Kent residents and anyone coming into Kent visiting, to buying more local, I think in your way you're also maybe trying to change people's mentality towards embracing technology, digital technology, to improve your business. And I think, you know, this situation has forced us as a human race, I think in general, to embrace technology a little bit faster and a little bit more than we would otherwise have done. So I think this is also an opportunity for people to maybe look at starting a local online shop, or an online shop, quicker than they would otherwise have done. And what better way to do it than through accepting your generous free offer.
Yeah, and that is, sorry, Flo, that is 100% the reason why we're doing it, for that as well. You know, here's the opportunity to learn. Here's the opportunity to learn how your business can run by having an e-commerce platform, because e-commerce platforms aren't new. These have been developed and they keep progressing over time. And what we're offering now is a very basic version of an e-commerce platform, but it can run for and I don't know if Lisa, you want to jump in here as well. It can run for those shops on the high street. It can run as part of their business. It doesn't necessarily need to be their business, but an e-commerce platform and a business embracing digital can just be a part of that. And I think that's what's really, really interesting with this project, and what we're trying to push, and the sort of messaging from us is that this is the opportunity for you to have a free online store. It's going to help you right now. It could significantly help you right now, but in the future, it's going to allow you to tap into something that in the past you weren't necessarily doing, that's only going to help develop your business further. And in city centres and in local communities like Canterbury, Whitstable, Herne Bay, Folkestone, Dover, wherever you are, the more businesses that adapt and embrace that, the better business is going to be, in our minds anyway, because the digital world is massive. So yeah, completely. That is why we're doing it, and that's why there are no fees attached to it. And also that is another reason why, you know, you need to start getting acquainted now to having stuff like Stripe and PayPal, who do take a small percentage of a sale fee, but that's just the way that they work. Other than that, you don't have to pay a delivery driver. You don't have to pay for a listing. It's completely free of charge.
Yeah, I think we're, you know, everyone's having to work in slightly different ways now, but one of the things that's coming through loud and clear, not only from the businesses we're hearing from locally, but we're also, we link in with other networks nationally. And what people are saying is what we all need to try and do and help facilitate is communication with our community and with our customers. So the more that businesses can keep their, you know, keep your brand out there, your messaging out there, no matter what it is that you can and can't deliver at the moment, the better. And so, you know, we'd all like to help with that. There's been a question that's come through, which is it easy to regularly change the online products as products and menus change? Can we update that ourselves?
Yeah.
So this has come through from Monique. Maybe you could both comment on that.
Could I, shall I take the first, Ben, because I think you've
Yep,
got
go on
more
then.
to say about that than I do.
Yeah.
With the Help Can Buy Local website, you basically list your business and you list the service that you're offering to the customer or the stock that you're offering to retail and hospitality. You do the initial listing. We'll quickly go through it and then approve it, and then you are online with your business. So that takes as little as 20 minutes from the moment that you list it. Now, any changes that come through afterwards, you know, if you have to stop your home delivery for some time because you're concentrating on other parts of your business, then you'll just have to send us a quick email through info@producintkent.co.uk, and we'll change whatever you need to change on the websites for you. And so that's a very quick and easy process as well.
Yeah, no, good question. And from a your local delivery point of view, it's easy for me to say it's really easy for you to edit your products, but it actually is really easy for you to edit your products. We've got a resource folder on the website, which also states how you can make edits to the back end of your website. It's really important to note that we're using a piece of a content management system here, a CMS system that powers over 30% of the world's websites. We're using WordPress for this project, and WordPress is known for its simplicity, but it's also known for its speed, how secure it is, how it's technical, but in a way that it's not overly technical. So for instance, we've managed to build this project to be as simple as possible for the end user. So that means that when they want to jump on and when they want to edit stuff like payments, when they want to process orders, when they want to edit their products, like mentioned in the question, it's really straightforward and it's really easy to use. And WordPress works in tandem called something called Woocommerce. And Woocommerce is basically that e-commerce platform that we was talking about, which is used by some massive companies out there, which are turning over hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds every week, every even in some instances every day out there. So yeah, we're using real proper technology and real proper software for businesses to make the most of at the moment. So yeah, so when it comes to editing products, when it comes to editing menus, services, etc., on your local delivery and through the store, check out the resources section of the website. There's a walkthrough guide, but also yeah, it is really simple to do, really simple.
Okay, we've had a question, and I'm sorry, you may have commented on this. Can you link WorldPay online payments too?
I'm not 100% sure. I need Pip to comment on that actually when he hears the question. I think the opportunities out there, as I say, WordPress, as it's a really open source CMS system and thousands of websites, thousands of developers are using it all the time in tandem with WooCommerce. The possibilities within it, like I just said, was that they're huge. There's a world of opportunity with it. Pip, can WorldPay be linked up with it? So there's loads of potential with it. I suppose the more different payment solutions that we use, the more technical it gets as well. So, you know, it just depends if the right plugins and the right sources are out there to do it. I think Pip's going to have a look. So as soon as he comments on that, we'll be able to let you know. But yeah, like I say, there's 101 solutions out there. I don't know if that person's using WorldPay or not, and sort of what other systems they use, but potentially if we can't use something like that, you've always got the opportunity to use PayPal, which is obviously just as easy, and quite a lot of people out there now have PayPal and sell products through PayPal on their online stores.
Great. So we'll come back to you. I think there's an answer there, Ben.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So WorldPay can be added in Woocommerce, but we won't be able to support it. Oh, yeah. So there's obviously free plugins we can use to be able to develop the website, but there's also paid plugins that we have to use sometimes. Unfortunately, WorldPay is a paid plugin by trade, so we won't be able to integrate it into the your local.delivery sites. But PayPal's there, and PayPal's just as easy for customers to use.
Great, thank you. And just a comment that this might be a catalyst in terms of this kind of collaboration and free offering might be a catalyst or an enabler for some businesses to get involved more in digital and online. And before this crisis, there was a lot of conversation about independent businesses and online retail, and the balance between Amazon and the like, and those big national retailers who and businesses who can afford to do online, and is it worth it for the smaller independents to do so? The evidence that we were seeing coming through before this crisis was that it definitely is worth having some sort of online e-commerce presence, because it actually facilitates more footfall into the store, into the shop. And we can go more into that another time, but for right now, this could perhaps be a way for some businesses to experiment with it, to keep their brand and communication going through this, and let's see where we end up afterwards. But in any case, it's a great way to enable all of us to work together more. Like you were saying, Flo, it's not that we're looking for opportunities out of this, but we're going to all make the most of this time to work together, and to help our local businesses and those that they employ. I just wanted to comment. I know that a lot of you are focused on getting the financial support you need, whether that is through business rates relief, the grants, the loans, and different local authorities are doing it in slightly different ways. But just encourage you to keep an eye on your local authorities' websites. So Canterbury City Council, for us here, but also the Kent and Medway Growth Hub has a great online chat function and a business support hotline. So if you are trying to get that financial support in to enable you to do some of these things, and then access the free support and just give you the time to do that. I know many of you are furloughing staff as well, so there are fewer staff resources. But if there are other things any of us can help with, we'd love to hear from you. So we're just going to have a little look again at the chat and the Q&A to see if anything else has come through.
I just ask if there's any, or if there's any, or how many food and drink businesses are taking part in this webinar, just to get an idea. And if anyone has already listed on the website or is planning to list.
Do you want people to raise their hands?
Hands is probably easiest, I imagine.
I mean, I love eating food and drink.
So there was the question that are they already using it, or just are they a food and drink retailer?
Well, maybe to start, food and drink business to start with.
Okay.
That's Monique.
Oh,
okay.
We've got one, yeah.
Okay. So I suppose my next question then is for all the, because we're trying a lot of different avenues to get the message out. So that this is a question to everyone in this webinar. What are other ways to get the message out, both to customers and to businesses to list their business and to visit the website? I think we very much need to explore as many different ways we can to get everybody to buy local and list their business.
I think Monique, I think you've got your hand up again. Rachel, should we just try and unmute Monique?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hiya.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Right. Sorry. Yeah. So I will get this push through Swell Means Business
as I'm the cabinet member also for property and economy at the council. So I'll push them hard to get this out to all our business databases.
Wonderful. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Monique.
That's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to mute you again.
See,
Would anyone else like to add any comments?
I was just going to say, like, help like that that Monique's offering, and even like if one person, as I mentioned earlier on, can tell a friend, it just makes a world of difference for these initiatives for us, because obviously to have the support from other people out there and for us all to be able to collaborate, it's just so powerful, and that's what makes the noise within local communities. So thank you to everyone who's already spread the word about Help Kent by Local and from our point of view, your local.delivery. I know we're not ending yet, but also thank you to the bid team who have been amazing in hosting this and pushing the word out as well about both initiatives. So anyone out there who's either watching this afterwards or taking part live, anything you can do to spread the word, please do. And we're going to owe a lot of drinks to people after this is all over.
Alison Clark, you've raised your hand. I'm just going to unmute you.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we'll push it across. We have a cafe business as well, so we will push it across. We do a monthly networking for small businesses in Herne Bay and Whitstable, so we will push it out to that group as well. There's about 120 people in that group, so we can get it across there, and then we can do it through the various chat groups and stuff like that. So we should get it fairly wide across Whitstable and Herne Bay between a couple of us.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Thank you,
very
Alison.
much. Right, I'm going to mute you again.
There's been there's a lot of interest in this webinar across social media, and I know that some people couldn't join because of other commitments, whether it's homeschooling or urgent work matters. So you know, we'll keep an eye on the feedback as we send this recording out, and any questions and comments and ideas that come through as well.
We've got a few more comments in the Q&A. Angela from Canterbury City Council says Buy in the Bay will promote through their channels as well, which is fantastic. So that's for Herne Bay. Simon Knott, could you offer a voluntary donation for each customer of 50p and create a hamper which could be donated to the COVID hospital? Use that as a route to as a promotional tool. Would anyone like to comment?
I think that's aimed at you, Flo. Thank you, Angela, as well, by the way, from Buy in the Bay. Thank you for that. So
our listing is free, so we're not asking for any money. I mean, to add a voluntary donation, I have to talk to the web developer to see how we could do it. I mean, it's a really good idea and it's worth exploring. So thank you very much for that idea, and I will discuss it with him, because I think that's a really good add-on that we could offer.
Excellent. And then a message from David Ilford, who is part of the Kingsmile Traders Association, to say that it might take a direct message to get it through to the businesses over there, but he has already texted a few people about it, so the word will spread.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I think Kingsmile is definitely let's say one trade district or one area that we need to talk to businesses about this, because obviously they're all going to be hit quite hard. So any help we can get to be able to contact those businesses and to be able to obviously offer that arm and that support, obviously we're more than willing to talk to them.
Yeah, I think it's right. I think everyone's so overwhelmed and in crisis management mode that it does take a personal invitation from someone you know, or you know, a suggestion, because there's probably a lot of information out there. So I think all of us can do that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We've got a message from Ambrose. Would you provide support for businesses outside the food and drink industry? I think this is for Flo. If the service would benefit Kent, because he's thinking of the support of the website mainly.
So far, we have decided to focus on the food and drink industry, as we are a membership organization representing the food and drinks industry. I would like to, if there was any businesses outside of the food and drinks industry interested, I would like to maybe have a direct contact with that person. So maybe an email to info@producedinkent.co.uk, and I can just look at it on an individual basis and see, you know, if it would be worth exploring including businesses from outside the industry. Now, I think with with our added pages, trade stock, particularly that page, you could, for example, think in the future, and this website is a growing thing. We're responding very much to the situation, which changes every week. That's my son. There could be businesses providing equipment or materials that are useful for the food and drink industry that would end up listing their stock there as well. But that's something that we're still exploring. So any non-food and drink businesses that are interested in our site, if they could please send us a message to info@producedenkent.co.uk, and we'll have a direct contact with them.
Okay, is that Alison with your hand up to talk, just to talk now, or no? Okay, hand down. Okay, just checking. I'm just aware of time. I think we said we'd do this from 2 to 3, and then we will put the recording on our website, and I'm sure we'll all be sharing it. Any final comments from either of you or thoughts?
Just please help us spread the word. Thank you to everyone who has done already. Flow Produced in Kent, obviously it's been lovely collaborating with you guys to this point, and also the bid team, thank you so much. I know we've got a digital masterclass coming up as well I can't remember the date now, in a couple of weeks' time. What's the date of that, Rachel?
It's the 16th of April.
16th of April. So please sign on to that if you want to chat a bit more about digital and a bit more about the nitty-gritty stuff of when it comes to digital marketing. But obviously your local delivery, it is a free online store solution. It's powered by WordPress and Woocommerce, which is just, we're talking about technology here and CMS systems and obviously systems that are powering some of the biggest online stores. So it's nice. We're not just using any old system here. And obviously it is free of charge, and it gives businesses a chance to really adapt in this current crisis. And as you've mentioned a couple of times, Lisa, in crisis mode, it gives them the opportunity to continue to some level running their business. And if you're offering a delivery solution and you want to know more information, please visit the website or reach out to us and contact us, and we'll be sure to take you through it as much as we can.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you as well to Bid Canterbury for hosting this. Fabulous. I think we should really try in this climate to work together where we can. It's great working with Ben. I think organizations in general should really try to form partnerships where possible and reinforce, I suppose, the message that we all have: work together, help each other, support each other to get through this. As for webinars organized by Produced in Kent, for those who are interested, there will be webinars that are tailored more to the food and drink industry. For the more generic webinars, we will signpost other organizations offer, but you can go to our Produced in Kent website, to the COVID-19 update webpage to see what support we're offering to business. And anyone you speak to, just promote Help Kent Buy Local. Make sure they all look at that map and start buying local. It's so incredibly important to support our local economy, because that in the end benefits us all.
Great, thank you both so much for this. We've been working with both of you in different ways recently. Produced in Kent had a membership event at the Westgate Hall that had to be postponed. I like postponed rather than cancelled. We've got a webinar coming up with Canterbury Culture, or a meeting as it were, to talk about the incredible clash diary we're going to have for the autumn with everything that's been postponed, which is a good problem to have. And obviously that's got to be really fluid. And priority now is getting businesses the support that they need. But it's been great working with you and working with colleagues locally, regionally, across the county, nationally as well. So we will continue to do that, and we look forward to hearing from you, those of you who are listening now and those listening later. Please keep your comments and questions coming, and we'll feed all of that through and do our best to signpost you and answer your questions, and look forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you.